My name is Paul Oliver. I'm the owner of Pinellas Power Products, and this is the product demonstration video for my extended runtime fuel kit for generators that run the dual fuel or propane version of the Zonson 224cc engine. And for the purpose of this video, we will be using the WEN 4800, which uses the Zonson 224cc engine. A couple of things I'd like to touch on real quickly is, if you're watching this video on YouTube and you'd like to contact me for additional information, if you look in the description section of this video, there is a link to my website where you can look at the listing for this product. It has a tremendous amount of information. It has several videos on the product and so forth. If you still need to get in touch with me, then go to the email and use the contact email to get a hold of me, or call me on the phone. Please do not attempt to contact me through YouTube. I do not monitor the YouTube videos or YouTube comments. I simply don't have time. If you have a relevant comment about the product, feel free to go ahead and leave it in the comments section of YouTube. Just don't attempt to contact me through that. The next thing is, the most common question I get is, can I still use the stock fuel tank? And the answer is absolutely yes. If you want to use the stock fuel tank, then you don't change your procedure one bit. You do it exactly the same as you did before you installed my kit. The next question I commonly get is it a gravity feed? Do I have to put the tank higher than the generator? No, it is not gravity feed. It uses a fuel pump. And that's why I've got the generator raised up off the ground a little bit, to demonstrate that it pumps the fuel over. It is not a gravity feed. Next most common question I get is, how big a tank can I run? Run as big a tank as you want. I'm going to be showing it on this 29-gallon fuel caddy. With those questions or those comments out of the way, let's go ahead and get started on the procedure for how to use this product. Included in my kit, in addition to all the items that are installed inside the generator, and that's covered in the installation instruction video, you'll get a Yamaha style quick disconnect fitting that you would either install in your marine fuel tank or in the fuel caddy. I personally like a fuel caddy because at my age, I like the wheels on a fuel caddy. Like this one has wheels on it. I like wheels on a generator. In my book, anytime you have a choice, wheels beats no wheels. A 14-gallon fuel caddy is about 120 pounds. And this one here, I don't even know what that is. I don't even care anymore. It's just too heavy to lift. If you look on my product listing page, at the bottom of it, there's even a video showing how to set up the 14-gallon fuel caddy as a fuel tank for the generator. However, the fuel kit will also include a Yamaha fuel hose, and the fuel hose has an arrow on it in the direction, or pointing in the direction of fuel flow. So you will take the input end of the fuel hose and connect it to the fuel caddy. Okay, now for the fun part, how to use this kit. As I stated earlier, this video is for the dual fuel or propane fuel version of this generator. If you have a gasoline only version, go back to my website, the link is in the description section, and watch the video on the gasoline only version. However, if you have a dual fuel or propane version, here's how it works. The kit will include a Yamaha fuel hose, and the fuel hose has a prime bulb on it with a directional arrow showing the direction of fuel flow. So you will take the input end of the hose and attach that to your fuel tank or fuel caddy. Then you will take the output end of the hose and you will attach that to the fuel port on the generator. And on the propane or dual fuel version, the fuel port is going to be installed right next to the recoil start rope. If you have the gasoline only version, of course, it's down here where the propane inlet port is. But like I said earlier, watch the gasoline only version of the video for the full instructions on that. The next step would be that if your fuel tank has a manual fuel valve, move the manual valve to the on position. If your fuel tank has a manual fuel vent, you'll open the fuel vent. If this is the first time you have run your generator on this system, you'll move the fuel selector knob to the run position, and then you will pump the prime bulb. And what you're doing here is you're taking fuel out of the remote tank and putting fuel into the hose, and the air that was in the hose is being put into the stock tank, where it is then vented out through the stock tank vent. But it gets all the air out of the hose, and that's the whole purpose of this step. So you'll pump it until the prime bulb becomes firm. Once the prime bulb is firm, you're ready to go ahead and start the generator. So normally you would have the switch in the off position at first. To start it on a cold morning, you would move it to the choke position. You would then start it, and then if you were running it off the stock tank, you would move the fuel selector knob to the run position. However, with my fuel kit on it, you will move the fuel selector knob to the fuel off position. And what that does is it leaves the spark working so that the engine can run. However, the fuel from the stock tank is shut off, so it pulls fuel from the remote tank. So I'll go ahead and show that now. I'm moving the fuel selector knob to the choke position. We push the start button for, I think it's 5 seconds. We're about to find out. Then we move the fuel selector knob to the fuel off position, and we're good to go. If you happen to have this kit installed and you store it for a long period of time, and then you go to use it again and it doesn't work correctly, the most common thing is that people will put it in the run position instead of in the fuel off position. That's why my kits include a sticker with the instructions. And step 7 is not a misprint. And that's where it tells you to shut the stock fuel selector off. And by that I mean to the fuel off position. With it in the fuel off position, it doesn't have fuel, but it does have spark. If you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to contact me through email or through a phone call. I thank you for your time.